Yo, let me tell you about the day I finally cracked. Not like cracked, but the kind where your brain decides to play Jenga with your sanity. Picture this: a family dinner straight out of a horror flick. Aunt Karen's casserole sweating on the table, Uncle Dave mansplaining crypto for the 47th time, and my mum side-eyeing my outfit like I'd rolled through a dumpster. Spoiler, I wish I'd rolled through a dumpster. At least that'd be a personality trait. Alex, sweetie, Mum starts, her voice dripping with splendor. When are you going to get a real job? Drawing those things isn't paying bills, is it? I stab a limp green bean. Graphic design is a real job, Mum. Besides, monsters pay better than you'd think. Cue the symphony of sighs. My family's got this Olympic-level talent for making me feel like a sentient participation trophy. Like, congrats, you exist. But also, why? Let's rewind. Hi, I'm Alex. Professional weirdo, certified introvert, and connoisseur of hiding in bathrooms at parties. My hobbies include overthinking texts, drawing tentacle beasts in meetings, and convincing myself that my third coffee won't give me a heart attack. I'm the human equivalent of a glitchy Sims character, always clipping through social norms, getting stuck in emotional doorways. Take work. My boss, Greg, khakis, receding hairline, vibes of a sentient Excel sheet, once caught me sketching a three-eyed raccoon during a budget meeting. His verdict? Grow up, kid. Nobody cares about your deviant art phase. Cool. So I'm supposed to be a photocopy of a photocopy? A NPC in someone else's life sim? Pass. But here's the kicker. I want to be normal, like badly. I've tried the whole fake it till you make it circus. Swiped right on dating apps, forced small talk about the weather, even bought pants with zippers. But every time I morph into this polished, palatable version of me, it feels like wearing someone else's skin. It's all wrong. My journal's a graveyard of cringe. Why am I like this? Today I ghosted a party to rewatch Coraline. Again, am I broken? Existential dread update, still dreading. Then came Jess's wedding. Jess, my college roommate, who's basically a golden retriever in human form. Her wedding was Pinterest puke, rustic barn, mason jars, a hashtag. I stood there in my thrifted blazer, choking on perfume and performative joy, while strangers asked, "So when's your big day?" My brain short-circuited. Air got thick, voices blurred into static, and suddenly I was sprinting to the rooftop like a feral raccoon escaping a trash can. Leaned over the ledge, gasping, city lights swimming below. A voice in my head hissed, "You're a ghost, a glitch. You don't fit anywhere." But then, plot twist, I laughed. Not a cute laugh, a gremlin cackle. Because holy shit, what if I stopped trying to fit? Later I googled how to not care at 3 a.m. We've all been there. Stumbled on some edgy 19th century dude named Max Stirner. Philosophy's not my thing. I zone out after 2 sentences. But one line stuck. The owner of himself dissolves chains. Huh? I didn't fully get it, but it felt like finding a cheat code. Next day, I bought his book, The Ego and Its Own, at a sketchy used shop. The cashier, a goth girl with snakebite piercings, nodded like, "You're one of us now." So here I am. Still a disaster, still drawing raccoons with too many eyes. But maybe that's okay. Maybe my strange isn't a bug. It's the damn operating system. Aunt Karen can keep her casserole. Greg can marry his spreadsheets. And me? I'm going to be the cryptid in the shadows, thriving. Past the monster sketches. Let me set the scene. It's 2 a.m. I'm knee-deep in a Wikipedia hole about egoism, and my brain feels like a microwave left running. Stirner's book? Yeah, that bad boy's collecting dust on my nightstand, right next to a half-empty bag of Takis and my emotional support water bottle. I tried reading it, swear to God. But homeboy writes like he's getting paid by the syllable. The unique one shall spurn the spooks of abstraction. Bro, what? But here's the thing, I kept circling back to that one line. I am my own. Simple, cocky, a middle finger in cursive. It's stuck in my head like a TikTok audio. Enter Jessie. We met at this grimy coffee shop called the Bitter Bean. I was hiding in the corner, doodling a possum with a top hat, don't ask, when they plopped down across from me. Neon green hair, a jacket covered in anarchist pins, and a smirk that screamed, "I've set fires for fun." "Nice possum," they said, sipping a drink that was probably 80% espresso. "He looks like he'd sell me fake IDs. I blinked. Thanks? He's more of a tax evasion guy, honestly." Jessie snorted. "Even better." Turns out Jessie's a poet. Not the roses are red type. The "I wrote a sonnet about capitalism using ramen recipes" type. Weirdo solidarity, baby. They became my chaos guru. One day we're thrifting for vintage band tees, Jessie. The Clash? More like the trash. Oh, wait, that's the point. And I finally spilled about Stirner. "So this dead German dude's saying I should, own myself?" I mumbled, holding up a shirt that said, "I love hot moms." Jessie tilted their head. "Nah, he's saying you already own yourself. Society's just gaslit you into thinking you don't. But what if I'm bad at it?" "At what, existing?" They grinned. "Congratulations, you're human. Now stop letting NPCs write your code." Work got interesting. Greg, my boss, the human embodiment of a screensaver, caught me redesigning our client's logo into a squid wearing a business tie. "Alex," he groaned, pinching his nose like I'd personally offended his khakis. "We're a consulting firm, not a whatever this is." Old me would have folded, apologized, shoved my sketchbook into a mental locker. But new me? New me had a stomach full of Jessie's shitty advice and a head full of Stirner's word salad. I leaned back. "Greg, my dude, let's be real. This client's website looks like it's from 2004. My squid's just giving it texture." Silence. Then miraculously Greg shrugged. "Just make the tie navy blue." Small wins, y'all. Then came the family reunion of Doom trademark. Relatives packed into my aunt's McMansion like canned judgment. Aunt Linda cornered me by the potato salad, her perfume a chemical weapon. "Alex, honey, when are you getting married? You're not getting any younger." Normally, I'd mumble something about focusing on my career, but Stirner's ghost, or the Takis, possessed me. "Linda," I said, deadpan, "I'd rather French kiss a wood chipper." Her gasp could have powered a small turbine. I bolted to the backyard, heart racing, and found Jessie waiting by the fence. They'd crashed the party for the vibes. "Did you just yeet your aunt's expectations into the sun?" they asked, handing me a stolen beer. "Maybe." "Proud of you," cryptid. Later I journaled, "Dear Diary, today I weaponized sarcasm and lived. Also, possums are low-key philosophers. They play dead to avoid bullshit. Goals." I boxed up all my normal people clothes, the blazers, the sensible shoes, the jeans that squeezed my soul, dropped them at a thrift store with a note. "Good luck, soldier." Jessie texted me a meme that night. A raccoon flipping off a dumpster fire. Caption, "Me thriving." I replied, "Us." Let's get one thing straight. I didn't wake up one day and decide to become a menace to corporate aesthetics. It just happened. Like when you accidentally become the villain in someone else's story because you dared to exist too loudly. It started with a can of spray paint and a spite-fueled all-nighter. Jessie and I were lurking behind a CVS, hyped on gas station slushies, when they said, "You know what this strip mall needs? A giant moth with the face of Jeff Bezos." I cackled. "A moth?" "Yeah. Moths eat fabric. Bezos eats souls. It's poetic." So we did it. Tagged the side of a bank-turned, soulless co-working space with a neon pink moth clutching a "Eat the Rich" sign in its mandibles. Posted it on Insta with the caption, "Public service announcement." Viral? Nah. But the comments were a masterpiece. "This is why millennials killed Applebee's. Art." "I'm calling the cops." Jessie high-fived me. "We're basically Banksy, but with worse sleep schedules. Then I got bold, started sneaking murals into every bland corner of the city. Parking garages became canvases for squid CEOs. Alleyways bloomed with neon flowers swallowing barbed wire. My tag? A tiny glitchy raccoon? My spirit animal. But of course, the internet had opinions. Reddit threads called me woke vandalism incarnate. A local news segment dubbed me the millennial menace. Mum left a voicemail. Alexandra Marie, this is not what we meant by creative job. I saved it as my ringtone. The final straw? My dad showed up at my apartment. He stood in the doorway, tie strangling his neck, eyes scanning my walls plastered with monster sketches. Your mother's crying, he said, like that was my problem. Tell her to hydrate, I shot back. This phase, he waved at my chaos. When will you grow up? Old Alex would have crumbled. But new Alex had been baptized in spray paint and Jesse's chaos. Dad, I said, calm as a possum mid-play death, I am grown. This is me. Take it or leave it. He left, blocked my number. It hurt, yeah, like ripping off a Band-Aid grafted to your heart. But weirdly, I could breathe deeper. Then came the gallery show. Some indie curator found my Instagram and offered me a spot in their outsider art exhibit. Jesse helped me frame my sketches, naming this one Capitalism's Sleep Paralysis Demon. Thoughts. At the opening, a reporter shoved a mic in my face. Your work critiques societal norms. Are you inspired by philosophers like Stirner? I froze. Stirner? That dusty dude? But then I smirked. Nah. I'm inspired by every time someone told me to be normal, and I said, hard pass. Jesse whooped from the snack table. Afterward, a kid maybe 16 with a frayed denim jacket and eyes like a startled deer approached me. Your art? They fumbled, then blurted, You're why I came out to my parents. Cue the internal earthquake. I stammered something dumb like, Holy shit, really? They nodded. You're just you. And it made me think I could be me too. I didn't cry. Definitely didn't cry. Okay, I cried. So what? That night, back in my studio, I blasted Mitski and danced alone. Not the pretty kind of dancing, the flailing, air guitaring, knock over a lamp kind. Jesse texted, You're a cult leader now. Congrats. I laughed, staring at my latest whip, a mural of a glitched-out city, its people melting into shapes that didn't make sense and didn't have to. Maybe that's the secret. The world's a broken game and the glitches? We're the ones who refuse to respawn. Look, I'm no philosopher. I'm the kind of person who forgets why I walked into a room, let alone pontificates about self-actualization over chamomile tea. But Stirner? That guy's like a weird meme that seems like nonsense until it suddenly clicks. Here's his whole deal, boiled down. The world's a circus of ghosts. Not actual ghosts, sorry. Halloween fans, but what he calls spooks. These are all the abstract bullshit we bow to without questioning. Morality, duty, society, even humanity. They're not real, he says. Just ideas we've let boss us around like we're Sims characters, trapped in someone else's save file. His big flex? The unique one. Not a superhero, but you. The messy, contradictory, gloriously weird you that exists beyond labels, roles, or Instagram bios. Stirner's like, own yourself. Not your job, not your identity, not your mom's expectations. Just you. The rest is spookware. Wild, right? But here's the kicker. I didn't suddenly morph into some enlightened ego warrior. Half the time I was like, cool story, Max, but how do I own myself when I can't even own a plant without killing it? Turns out Stirner's not handing out life hacks. He's more like that friend who texts you at 3 a.m. Hey, ever think maybe you're the main character? And you're like, wait, am I? Did it actually change me? Nah. Not in the way a TED Talk promises to transform your life in 5 steps. But it did flicker a switch. Example. That time I wore a neon dinosaur onesie to the grocery store just because I felt like it. Old me would have panicked. What if people stare? What if I'm too much? New me? New me remembered Stirner's Spooks, the ghost of normalcy haunting the cereal aisle, and shrugged. Let them stare. Their ghosts aren't my problem. It's not that I stopped caring. I just stopped letting invisible rules rent space in my head. The catch. Because of course there's a catch. Stirner's vibe is ferociously individualistic, like burn all bridges, eat the rich, and dance on the ashes energy. But here's the tea. Humans aren't islands. We need people, love, community, even weirdos like me. So I cherry-picked, took his own yourself mantra, and left the society is a pyramid scheme angst in the 1840s where it belongs. Final verdict. Stirner didn't fix me. He didn't need to. He just handed me a crowbar to pry open the cage I didn't even know I was in. The rest? That was me. Still weird, still overthinking, still drawing raccoons. But now, I'm the one holding the leash.